Hey girlie, we're cooking on the fly again. We're making stuffed peppers. So I got some peppers, I got some green ones, some orange ones. Okay, so it looks like I got 2 orange, 2 red, 2 green. I got my ground beef here that I'm gonna put in this skillet over here. But before I do that, I want to show you how I prep these peppers, because a lot of people just cut the tops off of it. I do mine a little different. Like, you know, you get the pepper in this hole like this, and they just cut the top off so it'll stand up. Well, sometimes it don't stand up, and it's a pain in the neck. And then I think the meat and the pepper ratio that goes inside is better when I cut them in half. So I take my pepper and I cut it halfway this way, and then I put the meat in it and I bake it. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna get ready and start prepping these and season my meat and everything. And once I get this all set up, then I'll be right back. Hey, I almost forgot to start the camera, but I got the meat in here, the ground beef. So it's browning. I'm going to put some seasoned salt, pepper, garlic, basil, and my secret ingredient, I put just a little bit, a teensy bit of sage and a teensy bit of thyme. Not a whole lot, because I want it savory. Because in my mind, if you put in your ground beef and garlic and tomatoes, it's going to taste like spaghetti sauce. I want to have a savory kind of different than spaghetti sauce kind of pepper. So go with me. It'll be good in the end. So I got my seasoned salt. I am going to put in some pepper. Some people put red pepper in it too, but I don't want it to be spicy. So just a little bit of pepper. I'm putting in some garlic powder. Smell it. Make sure it's not the onion powder, because it looks the same. Okay, and I am going to put a little bit of onion powder in it. Smoked paprika. Let's go with the smoked paprika since I found it first. This is my friend. It tastes good in everything. And the onion powder, which is somewhere in here. I can't find it right now, but I will add the onion powder to the ground beef. So I'm going to stir this up just a little bit and get it all crumbled. And then I'm going to move the camera so you can see what I do to the peppers. Okay? So just stay tuned. I'm making 5, but when I cut them in half, it'll end up being 10. But it should be enough. All right, let me move the camera and I'll be right back. All right. Here are the peppers. Take off the stickers. I'm going to rinse this real quick just to show you. Now this one is really nice, so it probably will stand up. See, it does. But I'm going to still cut it. Let me move these over. I'm going to still cut it in half this way. So you'll have 2 halves like this, and you take all this stuff out. Make sure you get that white membrane out because it's bitter. Okay, so carefully just take it out without cutting off the green part. Okay, because that's what's going to hold the meat inside. Okay, so I'm just going to rinse the seeds out of this one. I'm going to do the same thing for this one, and you just cut it out. Look, just cut it out on both sides, and then pull this part out. See, it should be empty. Leave this part on because that's going to hold your meat in. I'm going to rinse the seeds out. All right, so I rinsed the seeds out, and this is what your peppers are going to be like. Now, normally, you can just bake it just like this, put the meat and bake it, but I don't have enough time to do that, so I'm going to parboil it. But let me prep the rest of the peppers, and then I'll come right back. All right, girlie, I'm all prepped with the peppers. They're all here cut in half, lengthwise, so I'm going to be able to ready to stuff them soon. But I got my ground beef all ready. It is a little fatty, so I am going to have to drain it this time. So once I drain it, yeah, this one was a little fatty, but we're going to drain off the fat. And then we're going to put it back. Okay. There. Now, you know I gotta put me some onion in here. So I got a little bit of onion, not a whole lot. But I'm gonna put some onion. I'm gonna turn this down low. And I am going to chop, chop, just a little bit this time. So you don't need a whole heap. Make sure you take the skin off. See, that's the skin. You don't want that part. Okay. So you can get them as small as you can. We don't want big chunks. Okay, so this is unmeasured, but you know me about that much. So we added the onions into our beef mixture here. After we drain the fat, we're going to give it a little stir. And here's the secret ingredient. You're going to put a little shake of thyme, just a little bit to give it something different than just spaghetti sauce with tomatoes and stuff. And I'm going to put a pinch, just a little pinch of sage. Sage. Okay, just a little bit, see? Just a little sprinkle. Okay, and this is the onion powder that I couldn't find earlier, but I found it. Yes, smells good. All right. So I am going to give it a taste, because if it tastes good before it gets in the pepper, it's going to taste even better after the pepper. Okay, so I'm going to give it a stir, and you're going to get the first reaction of what it's going to taste like. I know you're thinking, ugh, I ain't putting no sage in my ground beef. Watch this. All right, camera test. Savory, delicious. Yes. All right, I got some tomatoes. Excuse me. I got some tomatoes, canned tomatoes that I had, but you don't want the juice. So these have been drained already, but it's still some juice have gathered. So I'm just going to pour this juice off. Okay? And add your can of tomatoes without the juice. If you add the juice, it's going to be too soupy. Okay? So add your tomatoes. And I'm going to give that a nice little chop. Nice little mix. I don't want it too soupy. Okay, so I'm going to let that cook for about 5 minutes or so. And I'm going to show you what I do with the peppers. I was going to put some fresh garlic in it, but it tastes pretty good even without the fresh garlic. But let me show you what I do with these peppers. Girlie, I'm holding the camera because I want you to see this. Now, in this pot, I got some boiling water. And normally you can skip this step, but I don't have a lot of time. So you put the half of the peppers in the boiling water and you parboil it for about 5 minutes. You're not boiling them till they get done. You're just letting them soften up just a little bit. So I'm going to put them in here for less than 5 minutes. I wanted you to see this step. If you're ever in a hurry and you didn't want to, you know, put them in the oven for 45 minutes, you can parboil them for like 5 minutes or less, just till they kind of soften up a little bit. And then put them in the oven, and then your cook time is shorter. All right? So I'll be back. Here's our meat. Let's see if I can get a shot. I'm not the best camera person. Nope, I can't. Oh, well. See you in a minute. All right, girlie. Here's all our peppers in halves. And here's the cheese you're going to put on top. And I brought the meat over so you can see. Oh, well, you probably won't be able to see, but I'm going to put them inside the peppers. So you just take it. And I'm going to leave them in here because they're already arranged. And you just take it and you stuff it as much as can fit in there. I used about 1.5 pounds of ground beef. So, I wanted to show you how when you wash them, when you put them in the water, look, you want them about this much. So they give about like that. See? They're not mushy. They still hold their shape, but they have a little give now. Okay? So stuff them to the max. Okay, each one. Just pile the meat in, pack it down. Okay, so all the way to the top. Each one. Oh, these are hot. Okay, so each one all the way to the much. So I'm gonna finish stuffing these and then I'll be right back. All right, girlie, we're all stuffed. You are just going to put the cheese on it, and you can be generous with the cheese. Just put a mountain of cheese on it because it's gonna melt all over and be chewy, ooey goodness. Ooey gooey goodness, not chewy. So you just top each one with cheese. This is Monterey Jack cheese. I've seen people use pepper jack if you like it spicy. It's just personal preference at this. I've even seen people use cheddar cheese. I don't think I'd like it with cheddar cheese, but whatever cheese you like, be generous. I should have put foil in the bottom of this pan because, well, that's all right. It'll make its own juice. It won't stick too bad because the cheese that's falling down on the bottom, but it's okay. It's okay. All right, this was 8 ounces of cheese. So 8 ounces of cheese will cook 10 half peppers, 5 whole ones, I guess. But I guess you're using more cheese because they're in half. But this is how I like it. Hopefully you'll like it too. Okay, so these are ready to go in the oven. See? They're all topped. Now you have to cover it with foil. So you get out your foil, and we are going to cover this, and then you cook it for about 20 minutes, and then you take the foil off, and you are all set. Let the cheese get all brown, a little bit, not a lot brown. So this is going into the oven. I already got it preheated for 375, and we should be ready to eat. All right, girlie, it's been about 10 minutes. I'm going to take these out just to see if it's ready to be brown on the top. Ugh, hot. So the cheese should be just now melted, and we're going to put it back in there to let the cheese get brown or bubbly. Let's see. Oh, yes. Ooey, chewy goodness. Yes, 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 yes. All right, see it? That was about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna put it back and let it get like a little color on the top, and we are ready to eat. All right, we're all set. Hey, girlie, I almost forgot about my peppers. Come on out of here. Okay, yes, see? They are brown on the top with that cheese and looking delicious. Hello. All right, girlie. I'll talk to you later. All right, girlie. I don't know if this is going to actually make it into the video, but I wanted to do a taste test right out of the oven. I like the yellow ones better because they're a little sweeter. So let's see. Here it goes. It's a little warm. So I'm going to blow it and take my first test. Come on up here. Let's see. This is good. You'll like it. The peppers are not too strong. Just get the red ones, the yellow ones. Just enough cheese. It's savory. The peppers are sweet. And they still firm. Don't overboil them and they end up being mushy. So you get a little bit of pepper, a little bit of tomato, and all your seasonings. This is good. All right, bon appetit.